Hey, your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that we are trying a new pilot of sorts of live Q&A for lunchtime with myself on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably will give it a go for about an hour. We'll see how it goes, if it can go longer than that. If it's if no one's around to watch it, I'll just give you a little bit of um, any kind of information sharing tips I have for that day. Although I think our regular 9 a.m. share is going to be coming out as well. But anyway, I hope to see you there. And another reminder that we have our membership benefactor system that you can join if you want to be a benefactor and receive some of the perks that you get with that at the various levels. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Hey, all good morning. I'm hearing a lot of complaints. It's not really new, but it seems to be worse and worse. Uh, and I've experienced it myself. Calling our field office to get basic information. We sit on hold, we get disconnected. You can be on hold. I listen to people who have um, commented on some of our videos that they've been on hold for over 3 hours and then disconnected and never picking up, or they've got to go and they have to hang up the phone. So you call your field office and you can't get through. Now, we've also been told that in many places, field office visits in person will have to be by appointment. And when people try to make an appointment, they're weeks to months out. So the whole, this is like a crumbling uh, administrative situation in the offices. And one has to wonder to what degree this is because a lot of the people are working remotely from home. Now, I happen to be generally a big supporter of remotely working from home for those who can do it without deteriorating in services to their employer. In this case, the employer is the SSA, and the true employer is the American people. So I am not sure what's going on here. I'm very disturbed to see what I'm seeing. I was listening to at the behest of um, a wonderful viewer that we have of a Steve Ram episode that just came out. And I've never listened to Steve Ram, but he's huge. And I believe he's I don't know. He has like over 6,000, you know, fans or followers or whatever you call people on YouTube. But I was listening to some congressional testimony with the Oversight Committee. And now I'm looking at a CNN article. Now, this is from last month, so it's not even like yesterday. But with the worst customer service I have seen in my 20 years of doing Social Security work, I'm appalled at what seems to have gone on. We are all accolading the recently former Commissioner Martin O'Malley for what seemed to be some great ways of using innovation and making things a little better for some of the people. I didn't agree with everything he did, but I did agree with some, such as, not the automatic withholding of all benefits when someone has a presumed overpayment, that it would be something less stringent than that so they can get by. I agree with some of the other things he did with SSI. I don't agree with all of them, but I think if I were to lean one way or the other, I would rather take them all than have none of them. Some of the things that probably should have happened that didn't, I don't understand. And maybe that's because it has to take an act of Congress, not sure, such as putting COLA on the resource limit for SSI, and or adjusting it first to get it up to where it would have been had they been applying COLA all along, and some other numbers that don't have COLAs that I think should. But here is, and there were all sorts of accolades and everything. Oh no, I hope he's not going to leave. Can he stay through the next administration? But he ended up resigning um, before his even own term was up or there was a new administration. So I'm not sure what that's about, except for the fact that apparently he's an extremely political guy, and he's going to be heading up the DNC, the Democrat Party's national committee. So what am I complaining about? With the lack of customer service provided by the staffers of the field offices in particular. Then we have another one with the DDS, and I'm not sure if that is covered by this because that might be that might be state workers, and that's maybe up to the state. I am not sure. But we know for a fact the SSA field office is staffed with federal employees. And apparently, just days before he resigned, O'Malley entered into a deal with the union to, so it's an agreement, right? I don't know how binding this is, that these teleworking people can continue to telework until 2029. What what day was it? I think it was October 25th of 2029. So interesting choice at a time when they're falling down on the job to allow them to continue teleworking. And one on the Steve Ram show, one congressperson who speaks in the beginning of it, and I'm going to attach it. He shows how he's been on the phone for an hour and a half on hold, and and the combination of forcing an appointment so someone can't actually walk into the SSA office, but tells them to call instead, but no one picks up the phone. That's exactly what we're dealing with. If people are at home and not picking up their phone, if they're working remotely and not picking up the phone when people call in and they have the phone lines going to their home, I'm assuming special phone system, what have you. So I am disgusted that they would now try to make this very damaging, slacking uh, teleworking, which clearly isn't working right now. There's no evidence that it's working because nobody can actually get through to the SSA, lawyers included. Certainly not on a regular, reliable basis. There are an occasional exception. Um, so I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think we should all be contacting our Congress people about this. And again, I'm such a big supporter of teleworking when it works for the particular job, if the employee has proven themselves, etc. So, and I've teleworked for almost 30 years, but I worked for myself, so it's kind of easy. Um, so it's not a matter of me thinking, no, everybody's got to, you know, I want to see everybody's faces because I'm a manager that doesn't trust people. No, no, no. But in this case, they're not succeeding. They're not doing the job. There should never be where someone sits on hold for an hour and a half, ever. 5 minutes maybe at best, and that's being generous. So I think they have to have a better way of handling that. And I don't know what's going to happen with this contract with the union. Um, I'm sure the union's making a nice, pretty bundle at the expense of even the workers, but I'm not in favor of this. If we had a functioning system, it would be a different story, but we don't. And uh, our seniors and our disabled people are not getting the help they need. They're not able to make contact with the SSA. And the lawyers, if they are lucky enough to have one, can't either. So I say boo. I think we should all complain to our Congress people that the SSA field staffers should not be able to work from home uh, until and unless they get that system down pat. So they better get it all together before they start working from home, because working from home apparently isn't working out so well. All right, vent over, but I will show you what I'm looking at. I'll show you both articles. But this, Steve Ram put it in such a smart way. I was like, wow, maybe I'll have to start watching him. I don't know. I wasn't really familiar with him, although I've seen his name about. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.